Hey, it's your girl KV with another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all is finally back. Y'all know the Olympics was here and we was not getting our own TV shows because of the Olympics. So we back. So while we've been on break, y'all, Carlos King and Heavenly with their messy Mondays just really went through and interviewed Trisha, Ken, and the husband Marquez, right? And it was such an interesting series of seeing each side of the story and trying to figure out where the truth lies with all three of them. Like, it was interesting. So, Trisha was first. Her interview was all right. She cleared up a few things, but she was still boring. She still ain't really got much personality. Like you still tell she's still nervous about everything. So she cleared up a little bit, but maybe not. Ken came on the following week and he defended his boo down to the ground, okay? You couldn't tell him that Trisha cheated. Trisha was still in a relationship. We find out Marquez says that I was upstairs sleeping in our daughter room while he texting her. That is what Marquez's story is, because he was the last one out of the trio of interviews. He claims that he claims so, y'all, the funny part about this interview is after this interview, Heavenly apparently went on her live and said she's not doing like reality TV show recaps anymore. She didn't say it as to be like she fell out with Carlos or anything like that, but it just cracked me up because I'm wondering when she was on the interview with Marquez, Trisha's estranged husband, he was like, yeah, my 95-year-old granny in the back, da 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 da. She know who you are. She wanna talk to you. Something like this. Did Heavenly got together by somebody 95-year-old granny? Now she trying to act right for a little minute to like prove herself. I'm wondering, is that what it is? Because she was really like talking like she's gonna talk to this man, grandma. And Heavenly is real like, hey, how you doing, man? I'm blushing. You believe in the Lord? She'll talk to anybody for any reason. So that was funny. So Marquez, we just gonna sit here in his interview for just a second. And I wrote these notes like over a week ago, so I'm gonna have to like read them and everything. He was on there sounding a fool, y'all. He said that this part I believe him though. He started off with a little bit of truth. He said that he didn't know that they were filming this type of reality TV show. When Trish initially gave him the release papers to sign for the children, that they told him it was like a dance show. He thinking that they finna be on like Bring It or whatever the dancing doll show was. So when he got the email, she finally fessed up and was like, oh, it's for a reality TV show. It's for Love and Marriage. So he said that he didn't really think much of it until his son came to him and was like, Dad, they keep asking me the same questions and it's like they want me to change my answer, yada, yada, yada. So basically making it seem like they're forcing the kids to lie about Marquez's involvement in their life, right? Because we see Trisha and Ken saying one thing, but they're saying that the daughter listed him on the school project as dad. But the son, we don't really see where he at, but Marquez himself admitted, he bought my son a car. And this is where Ken, in his interview, he was like, see, man, he's so dramatic about that. We have extra cars. I let him drive one of the cars that was my old car. Something like that. I said, not you gonna flex on them. Ken said, I ain't gonna flex on him like that, but I flex on him like this. Like, that ain't even we bought him a car. It was just here, so we gave it to him. Okay, my bad that you can't do that. My bad. So, yes, y'all, what else? He said that he moved to Atlanta because his family was out there and for opportunities. He didn't leave because he was running from his family. But I'm like, sir, you said out your mouth you left and went to Atlanta because you couldn't stand to see Ken be a daddy to your kids. Those were the words that came out of your mouth. So he was like, yeah, he heard me yelling through the phone because I guess everybody been telling him this. Because he was like, yeah, I have to be more careful about how I word things and the things that come out my mouth because I know I did say that. I was like, thank you for at least taking some accountability. So, he also, he said, so Heavenly was like, do you feel like you got a bad edit? I think Heavenly started it off. And Marquez was like, I mean, da da da. He was talking about getting a bad edit or whatever because they tried to make it seem like he wasn't in his kid's life for the past 6 years because he wasn't with Trisha 5 to 6 years, but he said 5. Carlos was like, he got real emotional, y'all know. Carlos get real emotional about a few things, and this was one of them. He was like, my producers do not edit to make a storyline, and they give you the truth, and we only edit what's there. We don't bad edit anybody. So Marcus was like, my bad, man. I ain't when you say bad edit. And Heavenly apologized. You know, she be laughing at him. Be laughing at Carlos in his face, so I'm kind of surprised she wasn't really cracking up at him in that moment. But yes, he said, don't be saying that his people is gonna give you a bad edit. They do not. So she says that he says that mentally he left the relationship in 2020 and moved upstairs to his daughter's room, and 9 months later he moved out because she was bringing Ken around the kids. So that's his storyline seems to check out. They was probably broken up completely, but he was still in the house, and Ken was like, oh, y'all broke up? Good, I've been waiting. And then they was keeping it cute outside the home because you there at the home, and then the kids came home and was like, yeah, we was just with Mr. Ken doing this because he got money and you don't. And he was like, what? Y'all got a nigga that got more money and I'm up here living in your room looking broke? I gotta get out of here. I'm moving to Atlanta. I'm going to Atlanta where the big boys go. That's what Marquez said. Yeah. He said he moved into an apartment around the corner first. Because they asked him, so when did you move to Atlanta? Because he was talking in such long, roundabout ways that it would take him 5 minutes to answer like a question that could have been one sentence. Like, baby, what is you talking about? So he said first he moved into an apartment around the corner, then a year later he moved to Atlanta. He said Ken had reached out to him the first time around 2018, 2019, telling him to check his girl. I said, ooh, messy. Heavenly was like, well, they making you look like a deadbeat and you need to clear your name. So, yeah, figure out your words and speak your piece, brother, because they making you look like a deadbeat. Basically, it sounds like Marquez might be exaggerating a bit, but overall, it seems like he checked out of the relationship first. She checked out second, and she moved on while he was still in the house. My husband in the other room, but listen. Yeah, we broke up. No, big. So, hello, streets, you know? People expect women to pine over men and to be distraught for forever and never be able to move on. They have to be downtrodden like some Tyler Perry movie, and they have to hit rock bottom before they find another good black man to be upon their lives. And that's just not the reality. She kept it cute waiting until they broke up. So listen, whatever. So on to the episode, season 8, episode 13. But she just needs to be honest about that. That's how I feel. Be honest about it. I was mentally checked out of the relationship, and once that happened, once he moved upstairs, yeah, I started talking about they over the 20, it just seems like they can't quite get that story together. But I think that might be just because Trisha just seems sketchy in general. Like, her personality just kind of gives sketchy. Um, Episode starts, we see Melody with a property preservation class. She's, you got to check the building, send the pictures, do this, verify the address. And in this, she's like, I should have invited my girl Sunny because I know she like to flip houses and all of that. So I should have invited her. Let me call her. So she got somebody else teaching the class or whatever, but I just thought it was so random of her to just show up and just hop on a Zoom call real quick. So she's on this FaceTime with Sunny. Sunny tells her that she's planning on moving to Huntsville. Melody's like, it's kind of, Huntsville booming and we popping or whatever. But, it's interesting that she's trying to move here. I hope it's not to be petty. She brings up Kimmy's party. Are you invited? Are you going? Sunny and Moses are invited, but they can't make it. Remember, y'all, they live in St. Louis. That's why they're trying to buy a house in Huntsville, because this is their moment. Be on TV, earn a check, and then run a little side business. Baby, they're all over it. So next we see Nell and Chris, and they're talking about the therapy session. Nell is feeling some type of way because Dr. Francis was on her. He was like, I feel like it turned on me, and he was focusing on me and not the kids. I'm like, that's because you're the problem, okay? All you do is yell. They ask you a question, you say yes even when you don't want to, and then you yell at them about it. Just say no. Chris was like, we just have to have our boundaries and stick to them because, the unsaid part, you're the problem. You're the problem, Nell. And then you just get mad at everybody else about it. Cracks me up. Kimmy and Reese, they have this tasting. I was confused about this setup, right? Because when they when they invited Sunny and Moses, they said one of their investment properties is doing a tasting, but then they presented to us as this person is trying to be the chef of this restaurant, so we're testing them out. So I'm like, do y'all own the restaurant? Is y'all about to acquire the restaurant? Who own it, and where does chef come from? Is this the original chef, or y'all about to open a restaurant from scratch? I had a couple of questions, but I guess they had too much mess to get to. They ain't had time for, the rigmarole of what building we in. We all have properties. That's what we do, okay? So Sunny and Moses can't make it, but Destiny already said she can't make it anyway. So ain't no Destiny or no Sunny and Moses. I'm like, dang, I wish we would have knew that Sunny and Moses wasn't coming, so Destiny would have been there, right? So Martell wasn't invited. Kimmy said, I ain't got time for Martell to be acting a fool. Melody, I want you to be there, so I'm inviting you, not him. I know how this goes. Down for the cause. So Melody, Tisha, and Marceau, Nell and Chris, and of course Kimmy and Reese. Melody is like, yeah, what happened to Black clothes? Because they said something about, oh, y'all made a truce, talking to Nell and Tisha because of how Tisha was yelling at Nell at her birthday party. Y'all made a truce or whatever, and y'all just need to talk about it. Oh, okay, if we need to talk about it, y'all know Mel gonna find a way to slide in some mess. So she's like, oh, if we need to talk about it and just ask questions. Well, I want to know, why was Black clothes? I sent some students over there to go buy some drinks and stuff, and they said it was closed. Tisha said, some students or some millimeters? She said, it don't matter. I sent people over there to patronize your business, okay? Marcel was just like, oh, we're closed for the week because we got to pay these taxes on this Wayfair furniture. I don't know. Never heard of these rules, so we got to pay these taxes. So now they get to Trisha and Ken, and Stormy and Courtney is getting there, rather. The four of them are getting there, so they go on and sit down and eat. Everybody enjoys the food. Of course, Sunny and Moses, the topic of them comes up, and everybody kind of agrees that they all feel like they was wrong for how they got together. Everybody's pretty much Team Destiny. So Melody is confused because she feels like she thought Kimmy thought highly of her for being a part of her breast cancer process. Her, egging her on and praying for her and stuff. And I'm like, people can feel two things. I can appreciate you for the person you are, but I don't have to agree with every decision that you make, especially when it directly affects one of my friends. Like, those are two separate things. One doesn't really involve me at all, so I can't judge you on that regardless of if I feel a way on that. So I feel Kimmy on this. I don't feel like Kimmy's going back and forth or she's being two-faced. She just don't like how the girl got her man, but that don't make Kimmy no never mind to not be the girlfriend if the girl prayed for her when she got cancer. So I feel like Kimmy needs to explain herself better, and people need to understand that those things can be treated separately. So where we at? Ken, Trisha, and Marquez. Marcel lets them know that he came by Black and they was talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, what did you say to him? How did the conversation go?" So he was like, "I told him that you owe that man a thank you." Talking about Ken, like, he taking care of your kids without no fuss, going above and beyond when you can't. You owe that man a thank you. But he is wondering about the relationship timeline. This is what I was mentioning on the interview part, so I'm not going to go back over that. So they kind of touched on the fact that maybe they was friends for a while before she was still active in her marriage. Mel tries to speak up for them, like, people can have friends and da da da. Just because a guy and a girl talking don't mean something happening. People can have friends. And Tisha and her little confessional, like, yeah, Martell did say she was talking to some guys. She had some friends. So, at the beginning of this little dinner, Melody had asked Kimmy if she could announce something later on. Is it good? Yeah, girl, it's real good. It's real good. So the end of the dinner is here, and her surprise, she got some little bottles or whatever. You open it up, and she invited the people the girls, just the girls, to St. Thomas. My son said, "Well, I'm a bit. Y'all caught me a bit last year, so I'm going to St. Thomas." He was cracking me up. Tisha asks if she can bring a +1. She doesn't say it's Destiny, but we all figure it's Destiny. Melody said, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can bring a +1. That's fine." And then she was like, "But you sharing a room with your +1? Because I ain't paying for that room because it ain't mine. So you sharing a room where they can get their own accommodations? Y'all work that out. But I ain't paying for the room." I said, "Well then." Kimmy has Tisha and Destiny over. I halfway don't remember it is, but I do at the same time. So she tells them that, yes, she's cool with Sunny, the double date and everything. She's letting Destiny know face to face. Yeah, we had the double date and all of that. I went, but if anything ever goes down, I'm riding with you 10 toes. Like, it is what it is. Destiny is like, okay, she ain't really been trying to be too bothered in person, but she says in her confessional that she feels like it's weird that this lady is coming in to take all of her friends. And it is. It is. You was supposed to be my friend. You was producing this show. You didn't even move here when you was producing the show. But now you're trying to be on the show with my ex, and you gonna move here to be trifling. It's trifling. So next they mentioned how Martell said Trisha had been to his house a couple of times, and they like, what? And I was like, right. So we gonna see what comes of that, because like I said in the previews, they definitely made it seem like Trisha said that they did do it, or one of them said that they did do it or something, if I can remember correctly. And later on, lastly, we see where Melody meets up with Sunny to invite her on a trip and to shop for bathing suits. Because she said, girl, let me tell you, you couldn't make it to Kimmy's dinner, but basically the consensus is they don't really like you. They not feeling you. So we gonna make sure you got everything together so you can buy some babies. You ain't leaving here with nothing, okay? You gotta buy you something. So the one thing they ain't gonna talk about is how you look. I said, was that a shot? Melody getting these backhanded compliments to Sunny be cracking me up as we get another one in this thing, y'all. She lets her know, like I said, she lets her know the girls ain't feeling her. So heads up for the trip. I wouldn't want nobody to not tell me this what I was walking into if I was going on the trip. And I'm like, that's true. She's confused because Sunny is confused because she's like, I thought me and Kimmy was cool. I thought she had my back or whatever. Mel is doing a lot. You can tell Mel is really throwing Kimmy under the bus because she was like, yeah, Kimmy was real back and forth on it. And like I said, she mentioned her being there about the cancer and everything, but she still feels like she was wrong. So she putting a lot of extra sauce on it because it really wasn't even that deep. So Melody was like, well, I don't think it's a big deal. It ain't like Destiny and Moses was married. They ain't got no kids. It ain't even that deep. They wasn't married and their relationship was over when y'all got together. It's not even that deep. I think what it is, no, she said, don't nobody's life revolve around Destiny. I'm like, but you said yourself you hope she's not coming to be petty. So what are we really saying here? And then she also goes on to say she feels the ladies are triggered because they can't put a face to their man's side chick, so they're just applying her to that and feeling away towards her. I'm like, she calling you a side chick. She just said they trigger because you a side chick and they don't know who their man's side chick is. Like, okay, girl. Okay. That's it, y'all. That episode was something to come back to, I guess, just enough. So we'll get back to it. I think it's only a few episodes left before they take another break. And I'm like, can that be the end of a season? Y'all just be dragging the season on, like, until y'all get more footage. Y'all be just 3 weeks on. Okay, nothing happened. Let's wait. Okay, then we gonna drop another batch of episodes. It's annoying. Split this up, but I guess with shows like this where you gotta follow the reality as it's happening, and really no say so of how long a season's gonna last and how off and on it's gonna be. So I guess I can appreciate it that much, but that's it, y'all. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, let me know if y'all watching Love and Marriage Huntsville and seeing the things that I see or you feel differently. So yeah, y'all, I gotta go take my baby to the library. We're finna go pick her up from school and take her to the library and get a book about the circus. Homework, y'all. All right, bye.